Hello guys, Gene here with G Squared Tactical. Before I get to yakking too much, I'll show you what we have laying here so you're not stretching the look. This is the IWI Tavor Bullpup AR-15 that we're going to be taking a look at today. I want to start by saying that I am excited about this, and I know that I say that about a lot of pistols, but my excitement seems, well, not so exciting. Basically, you know, we've even had people say boring on the channel, but you know what, most guns that you buy today, whether it be a pistol, another AR-15, something with another optic cut, something with co-witnessing sights, not co-witnessing sights, you need a plate, you don't need a plate, the plates come with it, the plates don't come with it, they got front slide serrations, it don't have front slide serrations. It is just crazy, and every time you go out and you buy something that someone has come out with that is quote unquote new, you always feel like you end up with the same old thing. You take it out to the range, you take it apart, you check it out, you look it over, you put it on the scales, you pull the trigger, it just seems the same. And for the longest time, you know, people have asked me, like, why do you only have one AR-15 and you got a couple of AR-15 pistols? And the reason is because I've had $400 AR-15s, and I've had and shot $2,500 AR-15s, and if I'm being completely honest, as far as shooting was concerned, as far as accuracy was concerned, just overall carryability or any of that stuff, it just seemed the same to me. Okay, sure, maybe one had a better trigger, maybe one had more features as far as handrails and places to put attachments, and maybe one was M-lock, and you know, maybe one was you know, some other type of attachment system or what have you. But overall, just shooting, using it, it just seemed the same. And then, you know, I had kind of thought about the idea of possibly using an AR-15 for home defense, and I'm like, well, you know, I have this big long rifle. You know, just like with a big long shotgun, it's not really practical to maneuver around in a tight house, in a hallway or what have you, with an AR-15. So what do we end up with? In my case, just a pistol on the nightstand and a, you know, a Mossberg, you know, 590 Shockwave, you know, sitting beside the safe in the bedroom or something. Just something short, easy to maneuver around. You know, you do have the AR-15 pistols. I have several of them, or two of them actually. I have the Saint, the original Saint, and then I have the Saint Victor, and they are nice. I do like them. I do like them a lot. However, your children, your wife, anyone in the house needs to leave earplugs laying on the nightstand. There needs to be some type of an alarm system. If someone breaking in, they know to put their earplugs in, because if you have to use it inside your home, somebody, if not everybody, is going to lose some hearing function. They're going to lose, they may even need hearing aids, because it is crazy loud. It's not as accurate as your traditional AR-15. You don't have the same velocities, and again, the recoil is not as manageable as a typical AR-15, and everyone in the house is going to be deaf. So I don't think everyone in the house wants to be deaf. So honestly, even though I do have it hanging on a runner in the wall in my office, is not my go-to for home defense. So when I saw this, and I just, you know, I didn't even know that this thing existed. I didn't even know, honestly, as crazy as this may sound, I didn't even, you know what, I kind of turned my nose up at the Bullpup platform when Trey and I purchased several, I think, of the VR-80 and several other Bullpup shotguns, 12-gauge shotguns, that were absolutely garbage. They would not function. They wouldn't feed. The recoil was just off the charts. Probably part of the reason why I got a jacked up shoulder as we speak, right? So that's probably why I didn't know that there was even a such thing as an AR-15 Bullpup rifle, right? So I'm just scrolling through one of the websites of one of the local brick and mortars that we go to a lot. I see this on there, and I almost just went right past it, thinking it was just another shotgun or something. But I seen the IWI on there, and I've always liked anything that they've put out. You know, their Jericho, their Masada, just everything I've ever had from them or that organization or a byproduct of their organization have just been phenomenal. Basically anything I've gotten from Israel have just been phenomenal, right? So I looked at it, I was like, well, now wait a minute. There's a rifle, there's a true AR-15 that I can easily manipulate around in my hallways and in my house and stuff and come around corners. That is freaking awesome. I want to know more about that. So, one of other YouTuber who I will leave nameless because I was told he was a showman, a showcaser, and I shouldn't name his name on the channel, so I won't. But he has been known to say and said about this, that when the Israeli military picks out a gun to exclusively be their firearm, their rifle, to exclusively carry, you probably better pay attention because it means something to them. And I totally agree, and everything I've ever had from this company has just been phenomenal with reliability and quality. Maybe not always shootability and accuracy and all of those things, but with quality and reliability just off the charts. I don't want to say second to none, but pretty dang close, right? So I went and picked this up. Now I did with tax, I believe I paid somewhere around close to $1,800 for this. I think actually that's probably the MSRP, $17.99, something like that. You can get it a little cheaper than that, but it is expensive, okay? I did add the foregrip on here. This did not come on here, and there were attachments down here on the bottom when I purchased it. When I bought it, there was these covers on the rail, even on the side here where I put my flashlight, there was covers there. So it was basically the same FDE color as this frame here, and the only place that I left it is over here on this side right here. And it's so cool how these things come off. You literally just push down this little tab here and slide it right off. If you want to push it on there just a little bit, you can leave it right there if you think that's cool. Maybe if you wanted to grab it down here and protect your hand from the barrel, just pretty dang cool right there. I like that a lot. I like the rail covers. Should you choose not to put attachments on here, it's a pretty cool, and it also protects your hands from getting cut up or worse than that, burnt, right? So that's a pretty cool little deal. But anyway, so I went out, I picked it up after watching a few videos. Forgive me if I don't know everything about this thing. We have shot it. We are putting up a range video, so it should be up, maybe might even be up right now. So this ain't a gun that we're doing a tabletop on that we haven't shot. We have, but I don't know everything I'm sure that there is to know about this gun. But I can tell you this, if you're tired of the traditional AR-15 platform that maybe someone put a few more little attachments on there to get in your way and make it heavier, then this is nothing like that. In some cases, these things are even shorter than your SBR, Very maneuverable, very, very easy to use. The recoil is very manageable. I can tell you that from, like I said, Trey and I having already shot this gun. And 10 years ago, it's crazy that the Israeli military adopted this 10 years ago in place of their M4s and the M18. And it's just crazy that I did not know that, given how big of a fan I am of their brand. And just, I don't know how long it's been available in the States, but I should have had it a long time ago. That's how impressed I was with this. And I can say that because, like I said, we have taken it to the range and we have shot it. It is built for close quarters, but with the 16-inch barrel that's in there, it recoils and has the accuracy and capability of a traditional AR-15. So maneuverable, unlike an AR-15, with the same features. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? This is a 5.56 NATO. I am to understand that they do make this in a 300 blackout and also a 9mm. So I'm probably gonna get that 9mm if I can ever find it. If I can ever find one. I haven't seen it, Can't even really find it online. But if it exists, if it's out there, I'm probably going to get that one. Feel a little less guilty about shooting such an awesome gun with such an awesome platform. With a closed rotating bolt, long stroke gas piston, much like what you might find in an AK-47, I believe you can expect that same type of reliability. Chrome line barrel, cold hammer forged. Overall length of the barrel is 16.5. And then the overall length period of the entire gun is 26.1 inches. The overall weight of just under 8 pounds. Again, your average AR-15, if you have the some type of flash hider or something on here, it might reach 33, 34, 35 inches, right? So, but you know what? That doesn't seem like that big of a deal as far as shortness goes, but I'm telling you, if you're sitting here holding this thing and moving it around in the hallway and so forth, it feels like it's that much shorter than an AR-15. Now, like I said, I didn't do a whole lot of research on this before I went out and bought it, and I was just kind of toying around with it and said, what the heck is this down inside, recessed down inside of the top rail here? Well, it's a doggone front post sight, and it has a tiny little tritium field dot inside of it, which is just freaking awesome. I don't know why I think that's so awesome and so cool. It is adjustable, but it is. It's absolutely cool. Now, I did put this magnifier on here because I wanted to sight this in a little bit further out than what we traditionally sight this in at, just to see if it would, and it did just fine. Probably going to take this off, pop up the rear one because there's one back here at the back too, but it's covered right now with this magnifier. Probably going to take this off, pop that up, and I'll have me some co-witnessing irons through my little Vortex Crossfire red dot here. We did zero this in at about 50 yards. We were trying about 100, but we didn't have anything to see out that far, so we ended up zeroing at about 15. But it has another, and it recesses right down in there, so if you don't want to use it, you want to put another attachment on here or something, very, very able to do that. Having a little bit of trouble with this thing. Anyway, so you do have the recessed post type tritium field front sight. The charging handle, now the charging handle, it is not as easily manipulated as what it would be on an AR-15, but again, with some practice, probably be just like second nature, like anything else. It is non-reciprocating, which basically means your non-shooting hand's not going to get wore out while you're putting some rounds down range. Reloads, yes, it can be a little bit challenging if you're comparing it to a traditional AR-15. But now Trey and I, we thought to ourselves, well, you know, in the right case, I'm sure that when people were first handed an AR-15 and they were accustomed to using some other type of rifle, I'm sure they thought it was complicated, you know, but they practiced, they got good at it. Now they think, hey man, why didn't we have this sooner? What could be better, right? But so reloading it back here at the back, you know, I can envision you being able to get really, really good with it, able to pull your magazines from your magazine pouch on your left side here, popping it into place, just like with anything else, just getting used to it. And me and Trey was out there, and we didn't do it on camera because we didn't want to embarrass ourselves. Sorry about the plane flying over. But we didn't want to embarrass ourselves, so we didn't do it on camera. But we were practicing a little bit, taking it. He's left-handed, so it was a little easier for him. But taking it out of the magazine pouch, popping it in place, and taking this part of your finger as you're popping the magazine in and hitting the bolt release. Now the bolt release is kind of weird. It's way back here at the back. It's not on the side like you see on a traditional AR-15. But again, like I said, with practice, if you've done it right and you had your magazine out and you popped it in, you could definitely get your magazine out and drop the bolt at the same time and get very, very good at it, I believe. And I believe that, I mean, I hadn't seen the guys in the Israeli military do it, but I bet they've gotten really good at it. I bet they've probably gotten just as good at it as they were with their traditional AR-15. So it does have ambi controls. Sometimes that can get in the way on traditional AR-15s. Doesn't seem to be here. This grip is kind of weird, you know. And I think they make a separate grip that doesn't have this front piece, that this is interchangeable. Again, that's one of the things that I don't quite know about it, but I believe you can buy a different grip to where it has more of a traditional trigger guard here. And at first I thought, well, I'll probably do that, but then I thought, where would I, you know, put my pressure pad for my awesome light here? So whatever, I'll just go ahead and keep it. But you can change that out, and it is a little bit awkward, a little bit weird, I guess, but you know, it helps you with carrying it. You know what, it's nothing that, it's not a deal breaker for me, is what I'm trying to say. And if you wanted to change it out, well then heck, change it out. Now, I have watched a video. I don't know what this is all about. I don't think the guy made any modifications to it, but I think this thing can be completely made ambi, as in when Trey was shooting this thing, you see how close this ejection port is right here. And I mean, I'm glad he wasn't a heavy mouth breather that day, because he probably would have ingested just monster amounts of GSR and some shell casings, right? And maybe he might have even choked on the shell casing, you know. But I watched a video where this was taken out and swapped, so it ejected on the left side, which is, again, I'm not going to talk too much about that because I don't know a whole lot about that just yet, but that's freaking awesome. That is freaking awesome. You could take this pin out on the top here. On the other side, you have this place where you can put a sling attachment, and you can swap that around to where you can put the sling attachment on this side. You have a sling attachment on both sides at the back of the stock here, and you also have sling attachments on both sides up at the front of the handrail. Again, sorry about the racket, but I am outside today. It's a nice sunny day here in North Carolina. A little bit chilly, had to put my sweatshirt on, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on down the road there. But anyway, as far as, let's see, anything else we want to talk about? I think I already showed you taking off these little handrail guard pieces here to put your attachments on. And let's see, I mentioned the long stroke gas piston. Again, very reliable, very easy to clean, much like something you would see in an AR-15. So the ambi controls, you know, I think I covered everything. I'm surprised because, again, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about this gun. I did add this foregrip here, so that was me. And maybe we'll do another video. I don't want to do it right now because I don't want this video to be incredibly long, but you essentially put a little pressure on the back here and you push this pin out at the very, very top. You will need like a little punch or something to help you with that, but you push this out, and this back, this butt stock or this pad or whatever falls down, and you just pull you just pull the internals right out the back, right? And then you push this up right here, you know, after you lock it back, you push this up and you push out two pins right here. Now again, this is kind of new to me and I've only done it once. Maybe we'll do a separate video, but the whole trigger group falls right out of the bottom here where your bolt release is at, and then you just run yourself a bore snake down through the barrel and wipe down the internals that came out of here and put it back together. It's so easy, so much easier to clean than a traditional AR-15, and I'm excited about the future with this thing. And it's probably one of the most exciting guns that I currently own and have had in a really long time. We hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Please hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and again, if you have any questions, we love to communicate with you. Thanks for watching again.